Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. The Kenai National Wildlife Refuge is no place where silence means safety. In this sprawling, nearly 2 million acre sanctuary on Alaska's Kenai Peninsula, silence means you're alone with the cycles of the land. Taiga forests rustling with each breeze, wetlands chattering with birds, and sometimes the low shuffle of something big approaching unseen. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. This land has always resisted civilization and development. Once known as the Kenai National Moose Range, the refuge is home to caribou, wolves, and both black and brown bears. By the late 1990s, it had become a haven for backcountry recreationists, fishermen, hikers, and hunters looking to lose the world behind them. But even here, where wild things rule, tragedy can strike with no warning. In Alaska, winters last the better part of the calendar year and cloak the land in 24 hours of darkness. Usually lasting 5 to 6 months, winter creates a state in residents known as cabin fever. It isn't an illness as much as it is a restlessness developed after spending too much time cooped up. As soon as the sun comes out, the snow begins to melt, and energetic hikers hit the trails to shake off their own winter slumber. On May 25, 1999, Kenneth Wayne Cates, a 53-year-old resident of Soldotna, Alaska, was hiking to one of his favorite locations. He was known for his love of nature. An experienced hiker, Cates often ventured into the Kenai National Wildlife Refuge to enjoy the solitude and natural beauty of the area. His favorite area was the Funny River Horse Trail. He'd hiked it many times before, and it always comforted him with fresh air and beautiful greenery. Ken knew the trail so well that, in fact, he used the pit stops other hikers used as a place to eat lunch and relax before resuming the hike. Ken had brought along some soup packets, his lightweight backpacking stove, and his thermos of water. That took care of lunch. He also brought along his binoculars to investigate curious things near the trail. Now, in terms of bear preparedness, Ken had brought along his .280 hunting rifle with ammo. He didn't bother to bring bear spray, as a hunting rifle has a repellent quality to bears all its own. He wasn't accompanied by a dog, and didn't bring an air horn, as he just wanted some quiet time in the woods. As Ken hiked up the trail, he approached his first resting spot, where he planned to cook his soup and rest for a while. It was a small meadow frequented by hunters and hikers as an informal resting place, and it would work well for Ken's Wilderness Cafe. Ken fired up his stove and set some water atop it to heat up while he shook the soup packet. After setting his binoculars on a nearby log, Ken pulled his rifle across his lap to rest a bit. After several minutes, the water on the burner began to steam as Ken glanced around the meadow. It had been a serene and peaceful few minutes, but then he heard a rhythmic thumping sound. Now, it isn't clear if the massive male brown bear had followed Ken or merely happened to be walking the same direction on the same trail a few minutes behind him. But one thing is certain, as soon as the bear emerged from the brush a few yards from Ken, all hell broke loose. How Tom Landless found out Ken was missing isn't clear, but he and Larry Lewis, a wildlife technician with the Alaska Department of Fish and Game out of Soldotna, responded to search for him. After hiking a few miles up the Funny River Horse Trail, the searchers noticed an ominous sign. A large brown bear track suddenly veered onto the trail, and they appeared on top of Ken's boot tracks. Larry, now very concerned for the safety of his friend, bent down to examine the tracks. The front track measured over 8 inches wide, and the rear track easily fit his size 10 boot. Over the next 100 yards or so, the bear followed Ken's tracks and turned toward the felled logs near the meadow. Tom and Larry first noticed Ken's camp stove still perched on a log, but now out of fuel, and a pack of ramen noodles lying beneath it on the ground. They could see a cup of water sitting near his binoculars, but no sign of Ken. Taking a few more steps brought Ken's corpse into view. He was lying on his back and had obvious signs of injury. As they examined his body, they noticed that he had several scratches and punctures over his right arm and leg, and as they rolled him over, noticed a massive wound to the back of his head. It appeared the bear had finished the battle with a single bite, crushing the back of Ken's skull, but not before he could impart his own injuries on the bear. About 10 feet away, Larry noticed Ken's hunting rifle. Though too small a caliber to kill a brown bear effectively, it was all Ken had to protect himself. In the rifle chamber was a single empty casing, and another empty casing was found nearby on the ground. About 30 feet from Ken's body lay his glasses, apparently knocked from his face during the attack. Now aware that Ken was dead, and he fired at least 2 shots at the bear, the men decided to follow the bear's tracks. A few yards up the hill, they found a spot where the bear seemed to run right into a tree, leaving a few tufts of fur and a smattering of blood. The tracks stumbled through the trees and seemed to indicate that the bear was wounded severely, as it could scarcely keep its feet as it fled. Having been in tense situations with Ken before, Tom figured he'd likely fired a warning shot as the bear approached, then tried to kill it with one more. The last round may have done the trick, but it wasn't enough to convince the bear to leave him alone before it administered the fatal bite to the back of Ken's skull. The bear didn't feed on him. It fled after the attack and was never found. No evidence of caching. No scavenging. No known nearby carcass or cubs. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Cheer membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to photos, notes, and episodes. And the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. The Kenai region is reportedly home to 300 to 600 brown bears over an area of 3,000 square miles. This is a brown bear density of 1 bear per 5 to 10 square miles, depending on which population number you use. This is a high-density area either way, and the dense brush along riparian zones creates a prime location for close-range encounters. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Was the bear surprised by Cates' presence or attracted by the smell of food? Was it stalking him in a predatory manner or perhaps a curious manner? Do you think the bear survived being wounded or did it succumb to its injuries? I'll gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.